Hi, my name is Melissa Neese. I would like to introduce you to my case study today. My case study's name is Brighton. He was a kindergarten student in Miss Bourgeois' class at Dixon Elementary. He is a 6-year-old African American male. He was born on September 5th, 2008. He was diagnosed as being developmentally delayed, and he is being raised by his mother and grandmother. He is the oldest of the children in his family. For the most part, he only answers with one word. He does not speak complete sentences. When I asked him what some of his hobbies were, he said coloring and play. So I had to ask more information to see what kind of play he liked, and he said outside. Some of his favorite foods is pizza and chocolate chip cookies. His favorite activities are football and watching the cartoon Arthur and the movie The Lion King. His favorite color is red. As for his academic and behavioral challenges, he does not speak in whole sentences, so communication is hard with him. He has problems staying focused. He can be talking about one subject and quickly start another topic. Not only does he struggle communicating with his teacher, but he also struggles communicating with his peers. He will shout out inappropriate things at inappropriate times throughout the day, even during lessons. And when he sets his mind on something, you cannot change it. This happens a lot, especially when he's given an assignment he doesn't want to do. He doesn't like to follow the rules, and he will simply say, can't do. His academic and behavioral history, as far as academics, Brighton has daily visits to both the speech therapist and the resource room. He does not know most of his letter sounds, or he can't even identify some of his letters. So Miss Bourgeois has a chart that's taped to his desk where he can find the letter and a picture of something that has the same sound as the beginning letter. As far as behavior, he does blurt out inappropriate things throughout the day. When it comes time to line up to go to PE or lunch or anywhere, he skips in line. So that causes arguments with the other students. He does not stay focused on a lesson. He yells out the teacher's name throughout the day. And he does get to visit the resource room when he has a spell where he just does not want to do his work. And he seems to like going to the resource room. As far as my school observation, the first one that I did was the classroom. And during a smart board lesson, all the children were sitting on the carpet during a reading lesson, and he was focused on the teacher's legs and her boots. He said, "You've got legs." Well, he kept on about the legs and would not stop talking about them. So another child said, "They're just legs. We all have them." And then he stopped. When he goes back to his seat to work on his activities, he will say can't do. He just refuses to do work sometimes unless the teacher stands over him and gets him back focused to what he needs to do. My second observation was during lunch. At the beginning of lunch, they have quiet time, so they're eating. Well, he doesn't follow the rule most of the time. He turns around and he talks to the people sitting at the table next to him. He plays with his food, and on this particular observation, he spilled milk all over the floor when he was putting up his tray. And he was just going to leave it there, and the teacher told him that he could not do that because somebody would fall and get hurt. So he did get the mop and clean it up. My observation for Brighton was during PE. He did very well during PE. He did talk to his friends next to him, but other than that, he was able to complete the activities and really looked like he was having a good time. His teacher's response to Brighton, Miss Bourgeois is amazing with him. She never raises her voice, but he can get him back on track just by telling him what he needs to do. She is both patient and kind with him. The PE teacher, she kind of picked her battles. If it wasn't worth getting on to him, she just let him be as long as he wasn't bothering or hurting anyone else. Some of his social strengths and challenges, his strengths is that he's always willing to help. He is friendly. and his best friends that sit next to him are always willing to help him, and he will let them. Some of his challenges is he does not speak complete sentences. He does tell on his peers a lot, and he cuts in line, which causes a problem with them. He does not have boundaries, and sometimes he does some inappropriately touching others, especially the teacher. Some effective interventions that I used with Brighton when I taught lessons is I had to work close with him. So I would move my chair and sit next to him to keep him on track. I would give him less problems than the other students. Not so much that he couldn't do them, it just took him longer. And I would work closely and help him with that. The classroom had a behavior plan where they each have a B, and it starts off on green every day, which is ready to start the day. And if Brighton refused to do his work or was disrupting the class, I had to tell him he would move his B down and he would get back on track. The only thing is, when you did move his B down, he was focused on that and could not focus on the lesson. Let me reflect on some of the interventions, what worked and what did not work. The behavior plan for the classroom worked best for him because he did not want to move his B down, and he knew that if it got on red, he was going to the office. Sitting next to him when he was doing an assignment also kept him on track. Just telling him to stop some behavior only lasted for a short time, and then he would do it again. And giving Brighton a smaller amount of problems also helped him complete his work. Positive behavior support with Brighton. While teaching my own lessons, Brighton was sitting close to me. Whether we were sitting on the carpet or during a whole class lesson, or I moved my chair and sat next to him, this seemed to keep him focused the most, and I was able to redirect him and keep him on track. I have to admit I enjoyed it too because I was able to get to know Brighton a little more. The thing that Brighton taught me the most was that if you don't step out of your comfort zone, you'll never know if you would enjoy doing something. At the beginning of this semester, I thought I would not like to work with kindergarten or with special ed students except for the students that were in my classroom. But Brighton taught me that I would absolutely love to work with kindergarten or special ed. I can see myself doing them now, and that has a lot to do with the work that I did with Brighton. I enjoyed working with him, and thank you for that opportunity. The thing that Brighton taught me the most was that if you don't step out of your comfort zone, you'll never know if you would enjoy doing something. At the beginning of this semester, I thought I would not like to work with kindergarten or with special ed students except for the students that were in my classroom. But Brighton taught me that I would absolutely love to work with kindergarten or special ed. I can see myself doing them now, and that has a lot to do with the work that I did with Brighton. I enjoyed working with him, and thank you for that opportunity.